Welcome back to Beauty Business Mindset Podcast. This is Celeste. It is November. It is Monday, November 29th. It's almost the end of the month and we're getting near the end of the year. This is a big time. I know if you're in the beauty industry, we are like loaded, and I mean like loaded with work. So I know this is a time where we're getting a lot of influx, and most of us are making a big amount of income during this holiday season. And I wanted to give today's podcast just a big shout out to you if you're working hard behind your chair in your beauty business, beautifying and also helping uplift your clients. Remember the importance of self-care. Remember to take a moment even to take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out, because we are best of service when we are best serving ourselves as well. So for today's podcast, I really wanted to talk about during the season. I know it's beautiful for some, it's hard for others. Some of us celebrate holidays, one of us don't. So I wanted to talk about the seasons in business. I really feel like there are, for me there and for other people that I've talked to, there's really like 3 main seasons. Most of us only think of 2. And I hope this podcast and this episode gives you an uplift, inspiration as we're going towards the end of the year. And next month, starting December 1st, I'll start doing the podcast to preparing you for 2022. And let's get started. So we're going to be talking about 3 seasons today. Number 1, the seasons of growth or blooms. Number 2, the season of stagnations, or the season of pause, the slow, oh my gosh, I'm not growing, the season that most of us see it as the negative side, but it's actually a beautiful season of pause, and of OMG, this is becoming a lot, I want to throw in the towel. A season that nobody talks about, and I wanted to talk about today. So let's start first with the easiest one, the season of bloom and blossoming. This is a season where in your business you are growing. When the income's coming in, your clientele's building up, maybe you're getting more authority in your area of expertise, and all these beautiful things is blossoming. Okay, you're getting this acknowledgement, we're human, hey, like nothing wrong with that, and everything seems to going in an amazing, beautiful way. I feel like sometimes during this season of growth, we can feel a little scared of losing it, instead of enjoying this season of blossoming, instead of looking at all of the things that are growing and all of the things that we're able to accomplish and that we're getting acknowledgement for, or we're reaping the rewards after all of our hard work of the harvest, because we're always putting in work, and then we see the fruits of our labor. And that's how I feel the season of growth is. So if you're in a season of growth, remember, enjoy it. Savor it. Please give yourself the right as a human, as a business owner, to enjoy that, because you have worked for those fruits of your hard labor. Okay, so enjoy that season, and it doesn't have to be a small season. Sometimes it'll be years, or be a huge amount of time of this season of blossoming and growth. So enjoy it while you have it. It's a beautiful season to be in. It's a season to be enjoyed and savored and not burn yourself out. So remember to always have your boundaries during the season and be grateful for what you have, because you have worked for that. That's why you're having the season of blossom. Number 2, it would be the hardest season, I think, for a lot of us, which is the season of pause or stagnation. If we look at a flower blossoms during, spring, and it's lifting everybody up during the summer, and then during fall starts to wilt and it dies, and it comes back, it does this old cycle during winter, and it comes back up during the spring. And for me, it has been a beautiful reminder to remember, just like flowers in nature, things happen, so happens within us in our life. How boring would our life be if it was always growth and going up, up, up all the time 24/7? We forget to enjoy the other parts of life as well. The same thing goes with business. Sometimes you're going to have seasons of pause. For me, last year, I feel like I was a lot of season of blossoming and growth, and it had been like that for the past couple years. And this year, being totally transparent with you, was a season of pause, and a forceful pause, because it was nothing that I wanted to do. But through my health issues, I was able to overcome it, and I'm sharing here because you can overcome it too. Maybe you're having health issues. Maybe, things are not, business not the same as it was last year. Maybe things are changing in your business. It's okay, and you are not alone. Please don't feel alone during this pause, this moment of stop, this moment where things are no longer growing like it was, or no longer booming like it was in your business, because you are not alone, and I'm not alone. And this is a big topic nobody's talking about. I have a lot of beautiful mentors, and shout out to all my mentors in all kinds of different realms of business. Okay, like business is business, as I always say. Doesn't matter if you're selling flowers, or you're a hairstylist, or you're selling cookies. Business is business. It goes back down to the numbers and some of the business basic foundations. But you're not alone. Most of the people that I look up to and I admire, and are mentors of mine, are going through a season of stop. Okay, of a season of pause, of really reevaluating. Pause doesn't have to be this negative thing. Sometimes we need to stop to think. Sometimes we need to stop to look at the numbers. Sometimes we need to stop to see within ourselves, what's next? What am I really to be in tune with? What do I want next for my business? What do you want next in your life? Just like you wouldn't marry somebody probably that you met the same day, right? You wouldn't be like, oh yeah, here you go, here's the ring, let's go get married. Like, no. Why do we expect our business to constantly be this whole blossoming and just marriage, like the marriage celebration, right? The wedding day. And why don't we see that in our business, just like in our relationship? It needs time to be nurtured as well. And with that's going to need a season of pause, a season of maybe not growing, so you can have some time to look at the numbers, maybe not growing to look what is working in your business, also what's no longer working. I feel like in business and in life, we put ourselves as small business owners, as entrepreneurs, in this box, like we are different. And if you think about it, like look at big companies, look at soft drinks, or Coca-Cola. Look at all kinds of companies. They're constantly rebranding, they're constantly changing. Yes, it may still be the same formula, but maybe they'll add like Apple into the mix. Maybe they'll add some different colors, like I'm seeing, even with my son was saying this with this medicine company, they are changing their logo. He's like, hey mom, I really like their blue logo, but look, they just changed it to yellow. And he's only 13 years old, so I don't expect him to know anything of this. But it was such an interesting observation, because I'm like, wow, if my son is seeing that they are changing. You are not alone. I am not alone. We are not alone. Right now, everybody's in a season of pause, reevaluation, of changing. And with change, sometimes you must, and for even big ideas to come into, come alive, and for real, your ideas and your business to grow, you need time to stop, to look at the big picture, to get the things ready for the big picture. I don't think I've ever talked about this, but nothing comes overnight. I mean, I think I've been pretty open about, transformation from a mobile salon to my lounge, to getting my second unit. Nothing happens overnight. It took a couple months, it took a couple of weeks to find my second unit. It took months to find my first unit. Nothing happens overnight. Nothing happens at the same time as the other. And I think we need to be really gentle with ourselves in this. Even for me, it has been really important. And I want to really tell you this, like in this season of pause, if you are in the season of pause, please give yourself some grace. You're not alone. Big companies are going through seasons of pause. I've been watching this show. It's called The Masked Singer. So pretty much like celebrities go on there, they sing. Some of them are singers. Some of them have done other things but are scared to sing. Some of them have beautiful voices and have never sang in their life professionally. And it's just it has been so eye-opening for me, and I hope sharing this story will help you. Even celebrities, successful people with millions of dollars, get insecure about things. They go through periods of pause as well. It's not just you, it's not just me, it's not just small businesses, it's all kinds of businesses in all kinds of industries. We all go through a season of pause to evaluate where are we headed to next. So during this time of pause, don't feel like you're broken. I have felt broken being candid AF. I have felt sometimes that I'm alone or broken because I'm like, dude, I'm pausing and everybody's go, go, go. I'm being different. And I love how somebody told me today, she's like, well, maybe you're feeling like an imposter syndrome. And I don't feel like an imposter. I think sometimes I'm judging myself like I should be working harder, when in reality, I need to just like stop. Sometimes we just need times to stop. Just like when we formulate for color, it doesn't just magically happen. Sometimes you need to just stop, look, think about the solution, let it come, and then move forward. This is how I do it with hair. And I think in business as well, is not, we're not robots. Nobody is expecting of us to go 24/7. So please, during the season of pause, be gentle with yourself. I am not a licensed therapist, of course, but I did want to give a huge shout out because I have used my therapist to help me through this. So this past year, being candid AF, as many of you guys know, I am an anxious person. I don't know if you know an anxious entrepreneur or small business owner. Small business owners with anxiety can be successful as well. I have needed more time to get out of social media. I have needed more time, more support from other resources that I'm able to have. So don't feel ashamed over it. Nobody really talks about it, but I really wanted to talk during seasons of pause. It's not the easiest, especially if you're anything kind of like me, that you always want to be constantly producing, or that you are trying to detach yourself, your worth from your work. I know it's going to be a long life thing for me. I have been working since I was 15 years old. So I know that you probably have your own things and you're working so hard and you feel, what if you stop? What if you stop posting on social media? What if you stop going through it hard 24/7? Will you lose your drive? Honestly, no. Being able to stop has helped me grow. You know, some people want followers, okay. Some people want more business, great. But also grow individually, which I think is so important for us as educators, as small business owners, as people that do business with people. Be willing to embrace the pause. Be willing to embrace the slow down, to reflect, to see where you're going next before you just rush on in. I'm an Aries. I'm a fire sign. So they say that we like to rush into things. I just say I'm just like, don't think about it. Come on, let's go get it done type of girl. But I've had to learn to also embrace the pauses. So, and I have gotten help for that as well. So being candidate at AF, pause is not an easy thing to do. Pause doesn't feel naturally. Pause sometimes cannot feel productive, but it's actually, as counterintuitive as it may sound, is very important in your growth as a human, in your growth in your business. So I wanted to talk about the pause. And lastly, number 3, it's going to be about, so we already talked about the blossoming, the pause. So the season that most of us struggle with, the season we want to throw in the towel. So I have been in business. So I've been around business since I was little, but I've been working, since I was in the insurance company. So I've been lots of years, more than I like to admit, in the business industry. And aside from the beauty industry, just in the business industry, managing other businesses and other people's businesses. And there is growing pains, and there's also heartaches with business. It's kind of like having a puppy. Okay, you, in different stages of the puppy's life, you have different stages also in your business, and one of them is the season that I want to throw in the towel. I call it the season that I want to throw in the towel because everybody at some point or another has wanted to throw in a towel. Now, I want to ask you, let's say you look up to somebody. I don't know who you look up to. There's Oprah Winfrey. There's so many people that we can look up in different industries, and just examples of people that we look up to. most of them have had a low point or a struggle that they have had to overcome. Okay. And we really connect and we find really beautiful the stories of people that were about to throw in the towel when their big aha moment or their big hit came. There's amazing, celebrities, business owners, small or big, doesn't matter. Like, it's being at that breaking point when they're about to give up, when the light bulb moment comes. Even with a light bulb, Benjamin Franklin, he found, I don't know how many ways of not making a light bulb until he found the one right way to make the light bulb. And I always love that analogy because it was just that one way. He had to go through all those ways of doing it wrong to figure out the right way for him and to get it to work. And he was persistent. He didn't give up. And he probably got frustrated. There was probably moments where he wanted to. There was probably moments where he had to take a break or a pause. There's moments when he wanted to throw in the towel, but he didn't. And there has been moments in your business where you have wanted to throw in the towel, when it feels like everything is stacked up against you and it's not working out, and it makes you doubt, like, maybe this is not for me. Maybe there's something better for me. And I feel you because I have been there. It's hard when you go through that period of wanting to give up because it's so easy to give up. Giving up seems like, if I give up, I no longer have to have the headache or the heartache over it. I don't have to worry about the problem. I get to start all over. But my big question to you is, why did you decide to start your business in the first place? I've talked about this very constantly on my podcast because this thing is so important. Please go back to your why. Your why is going to get you through the hard things. I always say go back to your why because my why has nothing to do with money. And I think a lot of people don't know that about me. And I'm actually releasing that today, that my why has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with other people praising me. It has a deeper connection to me. I want to help other women entrepreneurs like myself with circumstances that are not prime or optimal to success, who have overcome that or help them overcome that so they can be successful in their own way, and saying F what society says, F what they say we should be as women or mothers or whatever. We get to write our rules in our own lives because we are the ones in charge in the driving wheel of our lives. Nobody else is. We can decide when, where, and how, and why. It's us. It's you. You get to take charge. And there are going to be moments where you want to throw in your towel, and you are not alone. There have been many moments when I have wanted to throw in the towel. Are you kidding me? Because shit gets hard. It does. Sometimes, like I've talked about this, hair color did not come natural to me. And I took so many classes to learn that. And, and it breaks my heart. It broke my heart at the time when people would tell me this. Now I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, it's fine. It doesn't bug me. But people are like, oh my gosh, like your hand gave out at the prime of your career when you were starting to blossom and grow. And you know what? It's true. It did. It was nothing I did. It was related to the COVID that I got. It was a repercussion from that. And some days I'm great. And some days it's back to closing up where I can't open it all the way. And I was doing amazing. I was progressing really amazing. And I've been regressing a little bit lately with my hand. And I have had to make the ultimate decision that I will not be going back to doing blonding. Blonding hair color is not going to be a thing I'm going to be able to do. And I went through a little period of sadness because it's natural. You work so hard for something, you have to give it up. I feel like that's different. That's different when you can no longer do something physically versus giving it up to just give it up. Just because my hand doesn't work anymore doesn't mean I'm going to quit on my dream. Doesn't mean I'm going to quit on doing things I love. There's other things that I love to do that maybe has nothing to do with blonding hair. And I'm here to tell you, you are capable of doing it. And sometimes things, the inedible that people don't talk about, they're like, oh, well, that's because you don't want to. No, there's going to be times in life where your health is going to come first. Because it should, because without health, we have nothing. And you're going to have to give up certain things. I understand that. But when you want to give up things just because it gets hard, that's a whole different scenario. Things have gotten hard along the way for me. Things have gotten hard when I went mobile. Things have gotten hard when I went solo. Things have gotten hard when I went to become an educator after school, going after my dream with my kids, with life, with business, with shutdowns, with all this stuff. And you probably have gone through similar things too. And sometimes it's natural. You're going to want to throw in the towel. But remember your why. Why are you throwing in the towel? It's okay to change and evolve. Nobody talks about that. We are allowed to change and evolve. We are not the same humans we were yesterday or a year ago or 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And thank goodness I'm not that woman. Thank goodness I'm not that person, because I don't like that girl. I like who I am today. And probably in 5 or 10 years, I'm going to change again. And I'm going to like that person or that version of myself even better. But right now, all I can do and all we can do and all you can do is focus on today. Today, if you stopped, if you quit, is that going to truly make you happy? Or if somebody later on who has more patience and, the determination and tenacity to just hold off and be patient and keep taking it little by little, gets the ultimate reward that you wanted, are you going to regret it? Are you going to regret quitting your ultimate goal, your dream, your job, whatever it is? Because for me, there's nothing worse than regret. I have failed and fallen on my ass 20 million times. But regret is the worst things. And I learned regret. One of the most painful lessons of my life was regret. And that's why I've learned not to have regret. I need to do things. And if I fail and people watch me, people laugh, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, we need to try. And I feel in my heart of hearts, I'm here to tell you that if you have a dream, if you want to do something within, truly from your heart, it's coming from within you in the purest form, it's probably meant for you. And it may not be something easy. It may not be the easiest road to get to, but it's going to be the most worth it and worthwhile. And as we're going back today, look at how many people have gotten, some of them haven't gotten recognition for their amazing work till after they're gone. Some people has taken years before they get a breakthrough. How many people have started really blossom into their careers till later on in their 40s, or in their 50s, or in their 60s, or later on in 70s, later on in life, or in their careers, 30, 40, 50 years later on in their careers. Yet we punish ourselves and we want to throw in the towel because it's not going as fast as we want to. And I think it's so important for ourselves when we want to throw in the towel to remember it's just a season. There's a huge difference between your health comes first and you can no longer do it and you need to evolve and change, and that's okay. It can hurt and it's allowed to hurt, and you're not broken and you're not less of because you're not forcing your body past its actual capacity to break yourself. You need to be able to function. You deserve to have a healthy life. And your business, your job should not be compromising your health, because from somebody who was super healthy most of her life to losing her health at 30, it sucks. And it has been a lot of adjustment to take me to this point. And maybe you're at that point. And I want to tell you, there's no shame with quitting things because our body can no longer allow us to do it. And we should not be shamed for it. Nobody has the right to. And you don't need to explain anything to anybody for that. But when you want to throw in the towel, really remember your why. And remember, if just like Benjamin Franklin, we're talking about the light bulb, it took him so many failed attempts until he finally figured out the one way to do the light bulb, right? What if you are just a couple more attempts to getting your ultimate reward for what you're wanting to do, but you're not willing to put in the work? Are you going to be okay? Hey, I gave this my best, but somebody else did it. Good for them. Or are you willing to keep going and maybe take just a little pause? I think people make pause or breaks do this horrible thing. I take social media breaks and pauses. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 7 days. It's just how it goes, because everybody right now, you're not alone. Everybody's going through it right now. And some of us want to throw in the towel. It has been a lot of different emotions and changes. But when the moment that we decide to be in business for ourselves is the moments that we're decided to be innovative and to be willing to change. Nobody's business is the same as it was 80 years ago. Nobody's business was as it was 20 years ago. Nobody's business is the same as it was 10, 5, some people even 2, even since last year. A lot of people have changed. A lot of people have innovated and pivoted. And when you throw in the towel, just remember, like, are you throwing in the towel? Is it something that you literally can't do? So it's time to innovate. And that part that always, for me, always makes me think it's regret. If I quit this, right? Am I going to regret this, or am I willing to try it until I feel like it's no longer aligned with me and I need to let it go? So there's those 3 seasons of business that nobody talks about. There's the blossoming, the blooming, the growth, which is amazing and beautiful. Enjoy it, embrace it. It's a beautiful thing. Don't be so scared of losing it that you don't enjoy this actual beautiful moment. Just the periods of pause. Sometimes we need times to just stop and think what we're doing next, where we're heading, look at the information, take a time to take a deep breath in, let it out. Before we make our next move, it's okay. We don't have to be constantly on the go. It's not going to stop you. It's just a pause. It's a moment. It's not months or years. It's just a pause, a moment to regroup yourself. And there's also the seasons where we want to throw in the towel. And there's nothing wrong. There's no shame in having to pivot or change because our health no longer allows us to do that. You can still be successful in something new. You can be successful in your innovation as you're evolving. Be patient with yourself. It can be a heartache. It's okay to get additional help if you need it. I did. Transparent AF, I did. And then just season of, should we throw in the towel? Like, lots of times I'm like, you know what? Like, this freaking sucks. Too much work. I don't want to do it. And the next day I'm like, I'm so driven. We're going to make this work. So sometimes I just need to pause before I throw in the towel. And for me, the biggest thing is regret. Am I really no longer happy doing this and it's time to move on? Or am I just stopping this because it's getting hard and I know I'm going to regret this? So as soon as I know I'm going to regret this, I'm like, no, so let's go back to it. Take a day off, go back to it tomorrow. And that's usually what keeps me going and keeps me aligned with what's next for me. I really hope this podcast was helpful for you in whatever season that you're in. Enjoy it. Enjoy the growth. Enjoy the blossoming. Enjoy all the beautiful things coming into your business. Enjoy the pause. Take the moment to look at the trees, to take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out. And those days that you want to throw in the towel, take a break. Use the pause of one day to see if it's really just that you were just tired or frustrated with it, or if it's really something that you have outgrown and you can no longer do, because there's no shame in that. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes we need to evolve, and nobody on this earth is allowed to shame us for no longer being able to do something physically or emotionally. Maybe things have changed and our heart's no longer there. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to pivot. You're not alone. Big people, big businesses, small businesses, with smaller businesses, educators, online entrepreneurs, storefronts, beauty salons, virtual businesses, all kinds of businesses, you guys, in the beauty, food industry. Everybody right now is going through a different pivot and change mode. A lot of people have needed to pause. A lot of people are innovating. A lot of people are in different seasons in their business. So don't judge yourself. Please don't judge yourself, because your business is yours. Your life is yours. And we never know what somebody's going on behind the scenes. We only see on social media what people want to show. Okay? We don't see everything. So don't be judging yourself according to what your industry is telling you to do, or what everybody in your industry is telling you to do. You need to really be aligned with yourself and enjoy your seasons. Whatever season you're in, enjoy it. Because I think it's so important that we stay in the present to enjoy the present moments in them. So much love. I will see you next week. Bye, love.